Hello, hello. I think we are all set up here. My goodness, I took a long time to not only get to this setup point, but also to find a bunch of stuff that I'd lost. I haven't really done any crafting since I did the bees. I did the bee, which was my first time watercoloring in such a long time. And that was, I would say, the only thing I did in over a year. So I've been looking through my old crafting supplies, arts and crafts. Let me show you. I'm using the writing club setup today. So I'll need to take away the little text box up there. Everything else we keep, and the video capture device goes on. Ah, here I am. Video capture device goes on, and I'll full screen it. I can run the Pomo timer if you want to make it like a co-crafting stream. I'm happy to do that. But my idea was just to have it like this. I think it looks rather pretty. I think maybe the Pomo timer would be useful for reminding us to take breaks. But I was just taking a look through, and the last time I touched any of this was the time I did the bee. Look at this little thing that I have here. Look how cool. Look how cute and cool. Does it stick on the sides? Oh yeah, it does on this side. Look at that. Little palette, little watercolors. These are natural watercolors by the Cotswold Color Company. And I've never used them. I got this and I never used it. Hello, Newt. Hello, Marina. How you doing? I'm just going through some of my art supplies. But today we've got a very small mission. We are turning this Nesquik tub. Don't rep Nestle. Fuck Nestle. We're turning this Nesquik tub into a little storage container. So I'm going to be filling in these gaps here, giving it a good clean on the inside, filling in the gaps here on the outside with some foam clay, and then covering it in decoupage paper, I think, which is just a fancy tissue paper with a fancy print on. Doing a bit sick, a bit eepy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. Look at these. I was doing something shiny with that. Look how shiny those paints are. The heck was I doing? I have 2 craft boxes that are actually children's toy boxes from IKEA, because I don't believe that boxes should be limited by what they could do or what they're marketed to do. All my watercolor paints look good, but a little bit mixed. But I'm not doing any watercolor today. I'm just checking on my supplies. I've got so many supplies. But I really... Oh, that's a gift from someone. Oh, it's just the box. I guess I put this in here thinking that I was going to do something with it. More from the Cotswold Color Company. These are some wax... I guess you'd call them crayons? But they're made with natural materials. So safflower, madder root, spirulina, stone. Those could be a very interesting thing to do some art with today. I did also consider that maybe I could do some Easter art, but it's really difficult. So my main mission is the Nesquik thing today. So it's really difficult to categorize it as makers and crafting or art. Bring Your Newt to Work Day soonish, because I have been working on a build. I want to do another Bring Your Newt to Work Day, please. That was everything to me. Oh, and I have some blank postcards. I thought these were so cool. I got these from the Ashmolean, or the Smashmolean, where you can create your own postcards. Anyway. None of this is relevant to what we're doing today. I just forgot I had this box of supplies. I wonder where the rest of my decoupage stuff is. I've got my very, very old, grumbly PVA pot. I've got my old grumbly, pot of decoupage paper, which does not look great. I clearly just stuffed these in here and not worried about them. But I should have a white decoupage paper, but it's gone somewhere. It's gone walkabout. I got these to decoupage a penguin. And I finished the penguin, and then I had a bunch of leftover paper. I mean, they sell it in ridiculous amounts. Some old watercolor pads, an old sketch pad. What's in my old sketch pad? Let's play sketch pad roulette. It could be anything. Oh, a flower. Part of a Dara knot, I think. That was something that I was giving a go. That's a goose. That was something I designed for the channel. Rip Saint Dumas. Me trying to figure out how to do those letters. That's it. I have lots of sketching, drawing, and colouring pencils, I must admit. So I think we should do some art stuff. But because we're in crafting at the moment. I made a spoon once. I'm just looking for my white decoupage paper. It's not here. I need to accept that it's not here. Got some acrylic paper too, which I guess I could use for sketching. Sketchpad roulette. Oh, this is a notebook. Never mind. This is a college notebook. And then we should have a really pretty book in this tin. Yeah. Botanical watercolor is something I want to give a go. But in terms of drying time, we need to let the foam clay dry on the voids on this tub. So we should do the foam clay first. If you see me using an X-Acto knife, no you didn't. I don't use X-Acto knives because Twitch may ban me. So if you see me using one, no you didn't. It's as simple as. And I mean, I'll start the timer, but I don't think it's like a Pomo timer for silence or anything. It's more to remind us to take a break. There we go. It's so loud. This label gonna behave. More reason to use the karambit, you're so right. Do you ever watch those YouTube channels back when we were young? I can't believe that they used to let people upload them to YouTube. Oh, they did come up. Where it was like homemade karambit out of a wrench. And things like that. How did YouTube let us watch those? Little 10-year-old me wanted to make a karambit. Terrible idea. Back when YouTube was cool and not sucky. No, for real. I did like to see people making stuff and being... Like, this is very Art Attack. I've taken a tub of something and I'm going to try and turn it into somewhere. I'm not sure whether I'll keep paintbrushes, pencils. I feel like it would make a very nice pencil pot. A lot of the pencil pots that I use are not big enough for the sheer amount of pencils that I have. But that would negate the lid, I think. So I'll have to have a think about what I want it to be. It'd have to be short pencils. Of course, Mickey had to jump off me, jumping from my bull bladder. It's the perfect little, like, bungee ball. Like, Zorb ball. It's got distension, so he can use it for the extra bounce. Also, hi, Lady Megora. Long time no speak. Always one part of a label, isn't there? Just won't behave. This is a very old X-Acto knife. I really need a new one. But if I were to make a makers and crafting, if I were to put my makers and crafting once on Throne, it would just be inundated with that. There's so many things that I want to make and want to have. But yeah, these will be making and crafting streams or art streams. I'm gonna find it really hard to pick a category because I mix the two and I don't know whether sketching would go in art. But then what if you're sketching on something that's 3D? What if I chose to sketch on this tub? Is that art or is that makers and crafting? I honestly don't know. Coming in with the foam clay. Write again after these weird days. I'll be having my pizza in 15 minutes and continue writing after that. No worries. I'm running the Pomo timer in the background, Lady Magora. You probably can see or you probably heard. But I'm going to be talking all the way through it. It's not focus mode like it is in the writing streams. But it just to remind us to take breaks. Because I will get so into this. I've also got the Game Chop stuff, which I use for Minecraft on. Oh, this is not adhering very good. Oh, yes it is. Never mind. I tell a lie. It just needed a second to stick. I love foam clay. If you have any uneven surface that you want to even out before painting it, foam clay. It's the best thing. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. When I watched Howl's Moving Castle the other day, all I can hear is Timon when Calcifer speaks. Why same voice actor? Oh yeah. I believe so. Hey, cutie patty. Hi, yo, hi, cutie pie. Well, hi. How you doing? I have to remember when this dries, it's going to puff up. I need to not worry too much about getting the surface flat. I want the foam clay to be above the box because I'll be sanding it. Once foam clay dries, it turns into pretty much that craft clay. You can sand it, and that's very useful. Should also bond to the plastic, but we'll see because it's not sticking super duper well unless I go over it a bit lighter. Alright, that'll do it. Foam clay's above the voids, which is what I want, and it will dry even further above. Speaking of which, I'm going to need to go down to the workshop and sand the box I'm making. I'll also need to bring down the iron and start attaching the veneer. Get you, Pale! Hey, Johnny, how you doing? How's it? Pretty dry in this room. I might need to keep the foam clay in the packet. doing good. How are you? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty chill today. I went through my craft boxes though. I've got two what are children's toy boxes from IKEA, full of crafting supplies, and a lot of them I didn't realize that I even had. And so I've been going through that, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all the options that we could have for these crafting streams. But I went with what I originally thought I would do, which is foam claying, sanding, and then decoupaging this box to make it into a little storage box, because within the toy boxes I need smaller boxes, because everything is getting tangled up and mixed up together, and I would like all the little bits down at the bottom to have a place to live. So I'm making little storage boxes. And as I say, I'm using the writing overlay right now, and I'm using the Game Chops Minecraft music. That may change as these streams change, but just because it's my first time doing this, I've chosen some relaxement. Stuff that I know. It's already starting to puff up. I love foam clay. It fills the voids. Once the veneer is done, it's a straight shot to completion. Hell yeah, Pale! Russian boxes, similar to Russian dolls. Exactly. Your first stream, congrats. My first crafting stream. And I already have issue with the categories, because it's, you either do makers and crafting, or you do art. But I consider makers and crafting to be art. And so I'm like, well, what do I put this in? If I decide to, halfway through the stream, sketch something, would it want me to put that in the art section? I swear there was an arts and crafts one. I think that's makers and crafting though. I think that's what they just call it now. But it separated that grey area. Marina! Marina! And I'm hoping that this foam clay will adhere a bit better to the plastic than what it is once it dries. If it doesn't, we'll sand it down, we'll glue it. We've got super glue, we've got duct tape. There's methods we can use.
This is a crafting table. This is a crafting table. This is a crafting table. It's a crafting table.
This is a crafting table. It is now. Thank you for those biddies, Johnny. This is a crafting table. I don't think I'll keep the nubbins on the side. My main thing is wanting to get rid of these weird, like, crosses. It looks too industrial. Looks like the side of a jerry can. Once I get some acrylic paints, I have no acrylic paints, which is wild. How on earth I've got all these craft supplies and no very simple acrylic paints is beyond me. But once I get some acrylic paints, I can start doing fancier stuff with the surfaces of storage boxes and things. Why are we yelling? Why not? I'm not Bob Ross. I'm not a whisperer. I love the smell of foam clay as well. I'm weird like that. I'm not sure what liquid it's stored in. You can rehydrate it with water, which suggests that maybe it's water with a little bit of alcohol, maybe, just to keep it from going funky. But I love whatever they put foam clay in. The smell makes me extremely happy. That looks much neater than the back. We're getting better. Because I'm socially inept and I treat everyone the same. Hell yeah! Oh, we say hi to Newts in chat. Fair enough. We got you, Marina. Oh, that feels a bit dry. We have a dry segment. You. Yeah, do need to rehydrate this. It's very old foam clay. I'd say it's a 1.5 years old. And with foam clay, you kind of want to use it within the first sort of couple of weeks. Otherwise, it just does get in. I might get myself another multi-pack of foam clay. I've got so much left from the first batch though, but I didn't make anything big. That was my issue. So maybe I'll take all the foam clay that I have left and make a huge conglomerative blob. And then I can cut bits off that and use it as foam. Make a clay football and film yourself kicking it. You know what? But that's the thing. That's exactly the kind of content that I would watch. If somebody said, if somebody started a YouTube video or a TikTok video and said, I've got all this foam clay left over, I'm going to put it all together and then I'm going to let it dry and then I'm going to kick it. Subscribe. That's exactly the kind of content that I watch. I love the Game Chop stuff. It makes me so happy. I think they've released a new album and I think this might be it. Maybe one day I'll graduate into making cosplay stuff as well. Do you know I've never cosplayed in all of my life? Unless you count, like, World Book Day. In which case, I went as Hermione Granger and my brother went as a Thunderbird. That is honestly nearly dry. Wild that that's dried so quickly. There's some voids though. Oh no. Drying? Not yet. Foam clay does take a while to dry. And it takes a while to bond to the surface that you're drying it to. A little bit like oil and water. It will, hopefully, to this material, but this is a plastic I've never worked with before, so we'll see. If it doesn't, then we decoupage the whole thing. Okay, I think that looks good. I think we just need to wait for it to dry. The streamer's my wife. No, for real, I did. Now, I need to sand the top of this thing, because it's got branding on it, which is ew. But I don't know how streamers going to react to sanding noises. I'm hoping that it's going to pick them up as background noise and get rid of them. Fingers crossed. ASMR, no. That's not the ASMR that you want. I have some sandy paper. Okay, let me look at my mic output real quick. No noise. I'm getting closer to the mic. That's picking it up as background noise, I think. That's not showing up. Now it's brilliant. Well, I can certainly hear it where I am. I'm getting rid of the bunny. So there's a... I don't know if you can see it on here. You can see it there. There's a bunny. I'm getting rid of the bunny. Which means I think I probably need a smaller piece. Sanding paper. I'm doing it with 80. If I need to move down to 40, then I will, but... I'm gonna kill the bunny! Isn't that a smart piece of software? Totally not an old Nesquik container. Exactly! I said I do not rep Nestle, but I was recommended Nesquik as something to eat, also well, something to drink, when I was really ill, and it was actually genuinely quite good. I'll take any excuse to drink chocolate milkshakes, right? About the heist of Kit Kat. I saw that and I heard about it from Mr. Greggles on Twitter. He said someone's taking a hell of a break right now, which I found really funny. But also a bunch of companies have been saying, like, we're not involved with the Kit Kat heist. Also, completely unrelated note, but we'll be offering free Kit Kats to clients. And I found that funny too. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving company. For real! For real. I can't... The mic is right next to it right now. Is it differentiating between me and the sanding? That is a smart piece of software. OBS, you clever cookie. You still see the trace of the bunny. Oh, it's not reflecting the same anymore. That's interesting. You can still see the trace of the bunny. I'll need to sand the whole thing anyway, because I need to prep it for decoupage. Just a smidge left, right in the middle. I'm gonna try and push it up. I'm gonna struggle not to sand back the very edge, the lipped edge of the container, but I'm trying not to. Also not make it too thin, but I suppose I can put a bit more paper. If I do make it too thin, what's stopping me from putting a layer of duct tape, right? I think the bunny is gone. The bunny is gone. No more bunny. No more branding. Sand the rest of it, and then I think I'll put the first layer of paper on the lid and let that dry while the foam clay is drying. The foam clay shouldn't take super long to dry. I put it next to my laptop fan output, so it's got hot air running across it right now. And they're in fairly small amounts. I'm hoping it won't take a second to dry. We'll scratch up the rest of the container. Do I want to take these little lips off? I feel like they're gonna get in the way. Can I open and close it without the lips? I can. Quite easily. Yeah, I'm gonna take the lips off. Or at least take them down a bit, because when it comes to putting paper on this thing, that's gonna get annoying real quick. Naturally, I don't want to sand plastic too much into my lungs. I have masks I can wear if need be, but I don't think I'm doing that much. Might take a bit more. It would take a lot of pressure to take off slices of that with a little knife. Don't report me to Twitch. I'm not using it. Oh, easy. I can just take these off. It glides like butter. Don't tell Twitch I'm using an X-Acto knife. Easy. Where we shave away from the body. How is our first focus mode coming to an end? I've not been doing this for 25 minutes. I've been doing it for 5 minutes. Tulips down. Oh, break time already. Holy moly. I'm going to take my break time. That's what the Pomo timer for this one is going to be for. It's going to be to remind me to take breaks, because I'll get so into crafting that I will forget. So what I'm going to do with my break is I am going to be a piss queen, and then I will be back momentarily. Let's take the X-Acto knife off the screen so Twitch doesn't kill me. BRB food is here. Perfect break time. So I'll take a little breaky break, get some water, and see you momentarily. I should have Stream Manager up here, so I'll run an ad when I go be a piss queen so that it doesn't interrupt the rest of stream. I'm trying to be more tactical about that. Oh, never mind, it's just run one. Brilliant. Okay, perfect. Right. See you in a bit. Howdy, Black Iris. How are you? How you doing? We just took a little break. The one in Monsters Inc? No, but that would be cool, right? The screaming energy. No, this is an old milkshake powder container, which it was recommended for me to drink them while I was quite unwell, just to try and get some food into me and nutrition. And I'm trying to make it into a little storage container for the little odd bits and bobs for crafting stuff. So that can go in there. In a little X-Acto knife container maybe, or pens and pencils or something like that, because a lot of my crafting stuff is just chucked in to these 2 toy boxes, and it doesn't really have much rhyme or reason to it. And it's such a really nice... It's a strong plastic container. It's probably terrible for the environment. I was like, I'm having that. And I've taken all the branding off it, and I've tried to fill the voids here with foam clay, which I'm going to sand down. And then I'm going to cover it in decoupage paper, which is tissue paper, which has a fancy print on it. The only one I can find is my William Morris paper, which I like. It's really nice. But there's another bit of decoupage paper that I have, which has yellow Explorer print on, and I just cannot find it, and I'm really disappointed by that. I may have another quick look before I actually start putting the paper on, but the blank colour, the background colour, is going to be black, so I need to get the first layer of black covering everything first. But how are you, Black Iris? How have you been? I need to not pick it up. It's break. It's break time. It's break time. I'll take one last look for the fancy decoupage paper. Not around here. On my watch. See my glue gun. It's in the glue gun bit. I've done a lot of decoupage projects, and I should get some more paper really, because I really enjoy it. I see a box that it could be in, but it's going to take a lot to dismantle and get to that box. Focus mode! Slept like a log last night. Well, I hope you feel well rested. Back with Noms, hell yeah, Pale. No, my fish and chips! Oh, I fancy fish and chips right now. That would be nice. Twitch sees me with an X-Acto knife. No, they didn't. It does come off, but you have to put quite a lot of pressure on it, so I'm being very mindful to point it not only away from my body, as in going not inwards, but also angle it away from my fingers. Because I do not want the first crafting stream to end with me cutting my thumb off. That would not be ideal. I'm surprised it didn't start that way, to be honest. There we go. The nubbins are off. Is that an actual fish with chip? An actual fish with the chip? I would hope so. Not a fake fish. I'm astonished that my background noise thing gets rid of the sandpaper noise, because it's loud. I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the software. Deep fried battered cod and fried chunky chip. Ooh, plus a battered sausage and onion rings because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Give me some of that, please. I'm going to try and keep all the little plastic bits that I'm getting off of this. I'm going to try and keep them all together. And I'm going to keep them contained within something. I could even put them into some foam clay before chucking them away. Just to make sure that they don't get dispersed in the environment. No more microplastics, please. I don't know if this is biodegradable plastic. It should be. Such a big company, but I don't trust it. Even when it says biodegradable, I'm like, is it though? What do you mean? You hear the sanding? Don't do this to me. That is right on the mic. And can you hear it just when I'm speaking? Because I can pause when I'm speaking if it's picking it up. It's quiet, but it's hearable. Ah, okay, good to know. I may need to up the silence a bit. I can also stop sanding when I speak. Because it could be having trouble. It's like, oh, she's speaking. There's the volume and there's the sound bars for that, but they're sanding in the background, so it's picking up that as well. It might be a good idea to use this as a bit of a sharps bin. It's a really nice, thick plastic. To put my sharp bits in. Maybe glue storage? Glue storage could be good. I've lost my glue because I didn't store it right. That is one smooth corner. Three to go. I get some fresh sandpaper out. Treat myself. It's so nice to do some crafting with my hands, actually. I haven't done it in so long. I haven't been able to. It was a unnecessary expenditure of energy for such a long time. I'm tempted to call that smooth enough, but the perfectionist in me, the parasites, they want me to sand it right down to ground zero. Oh, speaking of ground zero, Artemis 2 rocket has committed to the moon. They can no longer turn back. They have to go around the moon to get back. Isn't that crazy? All of NASA's contingencies. They don't have enough fuel to do a U-turn. It's amazing, isn't it, Bale? Isn't it cool? But they have committed. They did I stayed up late last night to watch the burn, but they didn't really show that much. But I just wanted to hear if it was a go or a no-go, or if they were coming back down or anything like that. But that was the moment they committed to it. Genghis Khan was never to whip a U-turn in space. I guess it makes sense. This is true. I wonder how much fuel it would cost to just stop and then put it in reverse. Because everything about space travel is to do with, like, using satellite gravity, planet gravity, going around something, building up speed that way. Like, how much would it cost to dead stop in space at that speed? Right side, I got an emote for it. Hell yeah! I saw that! I saw that in Discord. I don't know if I got mine. I didn't watch it through Twitch, because Twitch was glitching for me. But I did have it open on my laptop for a long time. It would take a lot. Pretty much all the fuel they have expended in space already, just to come to a stop. That's wild. With no friction in space to stop the ship, everything would need to be through the boosters. That's terrifying. Because it's a very human nature thing to want the option to turn back. They are committed now. They're going to be at the moon on the 6th, and then they're going to be home on the 10th, I think. Is there any, like, weird time travel involved as well? Is the amount of time that's passing for them different to the amount of time that's passing for us? Has anyone calculated that? Someone's probably done it. It's at least a few minutes off, right? Right? Marina, right? Not perceptibly, yeah. I don't remember by how much, though. It's got to be a few minutes. Like, if they had a clock on their ship and they didn't touch it the whole way around, when they got back to Earth, the clock would be different to all other clocks on Earth, right? Technically time travel. That's it for the little nubbins. I think I've taken them all off pretty well. Stuff like aging is a bit slower, I think. People who are on the ISS had showed signs of slower aging. I think that's really cool, Marina. Time is so weird. I actually have the drop until the end of April, but I don't know if their channel will actually play a rerun or something. Give people more chance to get it. I hope so. That would be nice. I haven't checked if I've got it. But I would like it. It's a really cute little emote. I got the drop. Hell yeah. I had it open. I was essentially lurking. I had it open on my laptop, but I was watching it through YouTube. Let me check. Oh, that's a really small window. What's the emote called? NASA Sparkle. Let me see. NASA. Oh no, I didn't get it. Thanks, Iris. God damn it. I'll have to watch it a bit more. Made up the hours and days, tried to make sense of how the cosmos worked, right? But it is highly dependent on how fast you're traveling. I can't sand that inside bit too much, otherwise it's not going to fit anymore. So we'll give it a little bit. Don't think there's any branding on there. The outside is now going to be decoupage, but first I'm going to clear up all these microplastics and store them in a ball of foam clay that I'm going to keep and then use in a different project. Probably once I have some acrylic paint. Foam clay just takes ages to dry when it's in a ball. Pick it all up. You. Make sure the bastards don't end up in our ocean. I don't know what game soundtrack this is from. Sounds more like a children's storybook. I'm not against it, it's relaxing. Pokemon Center theme, I think. Oh no, I should know that. I should know that. I think that's good enough for now. Just trying to keep the majority of the plastic. Yeah, it's definitely Pokemon. It's like a lullaby. I love it. Roll it into a ball, and then I'll use that in a separate project for something. Right. The old horrific pot of glue is coming out. I do feel a little bit like Odin and his aptly named cum jar. It's so old, it's stuck. Oh no. I'm gonna have to break into my own PVA glue right now. Don't do this to me. PVA is not that strong. How is it bonded? Did I store you upside down? There we go. The goop! The goop is here. This is PVA glue mixed with water, by the way. This is purely for the decoupage, and so is this paintbrush. Hopefully the rustling won't be too loud. There won't be too much of it. There we are. Stream is still going. This is good. Let's get this thing blank. It's really nice to spend so much time getting to a point of blankness on a 3D project like this. You just know how much effort has gone into the project. PVA is strong. It is strong, strong. Plastic on plastic right now. Hopefully it'll look like a very nice project, though. Oh, that's a difficult corner. It's not obeying me because it wants to... Oh god, this is just dancing Toothless in slow-mo. Do-do-do-do. I will fold it back up. That is my solution. The point where you can start is not lost on me, right? Pokemon Sun Moon Route 1. Well done, you! You know your Pokemon. You know your Pokemon. Not the best with music, but the Mons themselves I know way too much about. The Mons! I mean, you're in good company here. I tend to do the cards more than the games. I have quite a nice Pokemon card collection. But there are people here who game quite religiously on Pokemon. Got some stuff I might need to flex on you with then. Hell yeah, Marina! We should still... Do we have a Pokemon channel in Discord, or did I archive it? I might have archived it. I think I was a bit harsh with the Discord cleanup. I've still not managed to get the bot to work. I'm working on it. I'm working on it behind the scenes. Me and Carl are having words. Archived. Boo! Why did I do that? Maybe I should take it out of archive. I mean, I'm happy for that to go in general, because we don't talk about Pokemon obsessively. Not everything has to be split into topics, I guess. Otherwise, then nobody would speak in general, right? Maybe that was my thought behind it. Past Newt, you make sense to me sometimes. It's interesting. I'm finding how much my hands are shaking very interesting. Because I did feel... I went to neurology. Because I've had a bunch of neurological symptoms accompanied by all of the gastric symptoms. I now know, since going on gastric treatment, that those symptoms were not purely neurological. They were all from the gastro issues. The fact that I haven't used my hands to do something like fine work in a really long time. I've used my hands to write, but I've not done something like with a paintbrush in a really long time. I'm finding it interesting how much my processes are having trouble with that. Nothing that can't be recovered with time. But it's just interesting how sick that I got. How much I was willing to put up with. I think if it goes over like that, because I do want it to be all together, then I could curl it round, I suppose, and then cut off the excess when it's dry. Let's try that. I have an X-Acto knife. I should use it for X-Acto purposes. Can it stand up like that? No, it can't. And I'm doing this, I'm making it blank because the fancy printed William Morris, and any fancy printed decoupage paper, is vastly more expensive than this tissue paper that you get. This is gift tissue paper. If I were to buy this under the name decoupage paper, it would be 4 times as expensive for exactly the same thing. But naturally, they don't do gift paper in fancy patterns, so you do have to get that as decoupage paper. But what you should do to save money, and just your sanity, because tissue paper should never be that expensive, is always make things not super see-through, so that when you put the last layer of decoupage paper, it's all that you see, so that you don't have to put 3 or 4 layers on of the patterns just to make it work. It's ridiculously expensive for tissue paper, honestly. William Morris, yes, that's the pattern that I'm putting on the outside of this. I went to a museum and I picked this up a couple of years ago. Just some nice V&A. I think it's William Morris. It's got the strawberry thief on it. Oh no, it's William de Morgan. Where am I getting William Morris from? Oh, I think it's these 2 birds. That looks like William Morris. Never mind. No, anyway, this is the pattern that I'm going for. It might have been a gift then, because I don't think I've ever been to V&A. There's this tissue paper. This is what will be the outside pattern. But as you can see, it's quite translucent. And so as soon as I put that on the bright yellow, it's just going to come through. I'm going to have to put layer after layer on. So in order to save the fancy paper, and then I'm using this tissue paper because they sell it in much larger quantities. I'm going to say I work next to the old William Morris silk print. Oh, beautiful! I love William Morris. I wrote a poem about the strawberry thief once. I like the simplicity and almost the medievalness of it. Where it's just like, we've observed this particular bird eating some strawberries, and this guy's like, I'm gonna make a huge tapestry about that. It's like, of course you are. Brilliant. As you should. Maybe I do have William Morris paper, but it was, No, I do have William Morris paper, but it was part of a gift that was given to me. It's tissue paper that somebody used in a gift. I might still have some of it. It's probably with white decoupage and the matte decoupage stuff that I just cannot find. I'm going to try and let the first layer on the top dry now. Really go inside it because it's a pub called the William Morris, or the Wilmo as we call it. There's the work local. That's brilliant. I love that. I love that to bits. I also have a bunch of other stuff which has gone missing. I don't know if I should fully dismantle my my art boxes and put everything back in a particular order just so I know where everything is, because it's been so many years since I've last looked. And whether that would be worth it. Maybe I'll do a little crafting materials tour either at the end of this stream, see how dry everything is, and the end of this stream or the start of the next one. I have a textiles box and an everything else box. I need to make sure that doesn't stick. Okay, beautiful so far. We need to cover up a couple of little bits on the edge. Done flexing, the cards are in Gen chat. Thank you, Marina! Let me take a look. My hands are super sticky right now. Let me take a look. Let me see. Oh, they're beautiful. I need that. I need the Sylveon is gorgeous. The Sylveon and the Vaporeon V. Beautiful full arts. I love full arts. They make me so happy. Oh, they're promo cards. They're the big ones. Nice. GG's. Those ones are going to cost you. Exactly, as they should. Oh, we're going our break time. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Not time for my break just yet. I do want there to be a break time in this stream, but I want to make sure that it's... I want to get what needs to dry on so that I can hold it at one end. With decoupage and sex advice, the same saying goes. Make sure one end is wet at a time. Okay, lovely. And I have a little handle. Leave that to dry a bit. Let's check on our foam clay. How you doing, foam clay? No longer tacky to the touch, but still movable and smushable. So it's dry on the surface, but wet on the inside. I could sand it like that, I suppose. Then if I immediately cover it in decoupage, it's gonna hate me for that, because it's just gonna be wet. Super wet. But it's getting there. Alright, break time. What I'm gonna do with our break? I'm gonna get a snack, I think. A snack and a drink. And make sure that I don't drink the PVA. The PVA is mixed with water, so I'm not worried about it drying out. If it gets dry, I just put more water in. Oh, lovely. Let's see where Artemis is as well. NASA, give me the stats. Do you know what I love as well? So the NASA tracker for Artemis was made on Unity engine. So we have a game engine being used to track and give public information about a moon explorer. We also have a live stream cam on that moon explorer. Don't get me wrong, it's not great. But the thought that... Do you remember when we first went to the moon and there's like 4 or 5 pictures of it that were released to the public? There's so much more public information going on, and that makes me really happy. The cameras aren't great, I'll give them that, but to be fair, this is all untested. There's a NASA app. Do I want to get the NASA app? I don't not want to get the NASA app. Oh my god, that's insane! Which mine might be. I got a couple of cards graded, but that's because I wanted to sell them. They were the cards that I wasn't collecting, but that had value. So I have cards that have sentimental value to me that are completely ungraded. And then I have cards that I wanted to sell that I got rid of. But then I chose to keep the Houndour, the Houndour, because I found it so cute. It really grew on me. And that was a PSA 9, I think. Pale, somebody said, or somebody posted to TikTok that somebody said, they said, thank God there's nothing going on with the Artemis for the next couple days. I can finally get some work done. Oh. The EX or the VMAX? Let me see. I think it was just the V. Oh, I see there are two. The EX. Look how cute, it's playing with the Eevee. Oh, wow. They've traveled so far. Oh my god. They've traveled so far. They're like halfway there. They're gonna do a couple more burns soon. To keep themselves on track. Yeah, that's what the PSA is at. Is that over 500? My favourite thing is that we now have 7 days to get the crew of the recovery ship into Planet of the Apes costumes for belated April 1st, right? Humans have a couple of days to make 8 billion ape costumes. And pull the funniest prank. Small adjustment birds. Higher. 750. That's crazy. I didn't know that they had gone that far. All while I slept. What I love about the tracker is it shows the moon in its current position, not the position that the moon's going to be in. Because naturally they're aiming for where the moon is going to be, not where the moon is. Or they'll be chasing it. But I found that detail so good. They could have just put a stationary marker of the moon, but they didn't. They did it scientifically. I'm going to save you some time. Much, much higher. 10k, Marina? Okay, so it's between 750 and 10k. 2,100. Right? Right, Pale? Oh my god, 3,375. Oh my god. What set is that from? I wonder if they have like a live news thing. That's like a typed news. I saw their interview today. Artemis News Live, that's what I want. I want like a live news feed. NASA Live. Upcoming events. Okay, Friday, April 3rd, daily news conference on Artemis 2, stream on YouTube. Is that on Artemis 2 as in, like, the subject is Artemis 2, or we actually see on Artemis 2? No, it looks like the news conference is just like, this is what has happened. It's already happened. It's an hour long. There's another daily news conference. I think everyone daily news conference. Then Monday, April 6th, 1 p.m, Artemis 2 flies around the moon. Official NASA broadcast. Stream on YouTube, Amazon Prime, Peacock, Netflix, NASA Plus, and Twitch. That's interesting. I know it was an expensive card, but holy, did you pull that naturally? Did you get that from booster packs? Pokemon Generations is the second most expensive card from the set. It's not even the first most expensive card. That one I am not missing at all. I may even make that a bit of an event. When is it? 1 p.m? I may make that like I may sit down with some popcorn kind of thing. I'm not saying I'm going to dress up as an astronaut, but I'm not going to dress up as an astronaut, you know what I mean? Traded for it a long while ago. I'd love to go to a trading event. There's one that's actually run near me, but I live in a pretty... It's not a super rural area, but it's right next to a rural area. And so it's run in like a church hall, which I find just a very weird place to have a Pokemon card party. Want to do a voice party for it in Discord? I'll have to check my availability and where I'm going to be, but I would, yeah. How are we getting on? Things dry a lot quicker than I think they do. I always think, I think that things take forever to dry. And they really don't. We're almost at the sanding level. I just gave it a quick go. You can see that underneath where I've just sanded, it's not dry. But it did sand instead of smushing, which is interesting. We're nearly there. Dry, foam clay, dry. How long we got on our break? We got 4 minutes left. I may go be a piss queen again. Weird that I'm peeing so much. I'm drinking a lot. Whee! My Hero Academia unveils new visual for extra episode. Excuse me, yes please. I only just finished the series. Wait, so Plus Ultra isn't going to be a follow-up series, it's going to be a follow-up episode. An epilogue to the entire series 8 years after the conclusion of the main story. I saw a lot on Reddit, and I frankly agreed with it when they said, we don't need an extra series, it's literally perfect. But if it's an extra episode as an epilogue, then I'm not mad about that at all. That's going to be nice. Today I did a lazy day. I haven't done anything except remake my original profile pic on Paint.net. As you should have. Beautifully done. Alright, I am going to go be a piss queen. We got 3 minutes. See you momentarily. Alright, I am back. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Let me... How long have I got? 1 minute and a bit. Hey, Jinx is live. He's smashing heretics. Good for him. I've got, it's going to be a 3-hour stream today. Just because it's going to be regular time. So we won't do all 6 of those sprints because it will take me over. But after that, if Jinx is still on, we're going to go raid him. I'm going to go raid my boy. Alright, perfect. We've gotten to that tacky stage of dryness. And pretty much the same with the foam clay. So if it means that I've got to decoupage around the foam clay, maybe do the base first, so that it can sit on a dry base, then that's what I'll do next. Seems like a reasonable plan, but let's finish... Actually, no, let's not finish the lid. If it's at the tacky stage, I'm going to stick it to my finger and ruin it. Let's sand the base. I feel comfortable handling the bottom. Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing. Don't stick to anything. That's what I'll do. Get rid of that line. Does that tell me what kind of plastic it is? It's 9 Pero. No, it's 2 Pero. 2. It's type 2. Whatever the hell that means. I'd like to have the camera a bit, like, down and facing outwards, but then it's going to get in the way of my hand. I wish that floating cameras existed in real life and not just in Minecraft. We can have it a bit down. I don't want to mess with it too much. Like that a bit. It's less pointing downwards then. Might play DJ as well if I get tired of the Game Shop's music on a Friday. Because the crafting for me requires less focus than writing. I could play DJ. Put on some of my tunes. So far I'm enjoying this calming music. I've always wanted to do something calmer on a Friday. But it seemed the most convenient day for me to game. Convenient day for me to game. rather than do anything else. And I don't think I've had the confidence to be like, I want to do a crafting stream, and so I'm going to do it, rather than it being like something different from the norm and scary. Most convenient game for me today. You're so right. I've never spoken such truth. Such truth has never fallen out of thy mouth. Thine, Mel? How does one refer to oneself in Shakespeare terms? Is it thine? Thyself, right? Thine own self. And thank you, Marina. You are a resident thespian. Yes, I did say that correctly. Eddie, don't hit the wire too many times. Camera wire could do with being a little bit further out of the way. Or it could just fall straight back into my lap. Get out! Thy is the person you are talking to, so thyself is... myself? Yourself? What you're trying to pronounce was lesbian. You can be a thespian and a lesbian. I wouldn't know, because I'm straight and Catholic, so... I am just following the word of the Lord until my husband comes and gets me. God, that sounds intimidating, doesn't it? My husband comes and gets me. It's sticking to me. I'm going to get you, Newt. Let's do it! Swing, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we stretching? Let me stretch, hang on. Momentarily. Everybody stretch. Et voilà. Thank you very much, Bug. Also, hi, Bug. How you doing? Oh, and Shakespearean first person is the same as modern English. It really hasn't changed much. So you could say I am speaking to thy person. Hello, everybody. Hello, Bug. It's good to see you. How have you been? Alright, that is the bottom done. And we'll take some time to dry. Hopefully in the time I've done that, the bottom has dried and the foam clay has continued to dry. Looks like the foam clay is adhering a bit now. I'm able to poke it and it doesn't stick to my fingers at all. Which is really nice. I'm still able to smush it and put a divot into it, but it's hard work. When it's dry, it's almost brittle, in the way it reacts to sanding, so I'm going to wait until it's fully dry. It's been realistically productive, but I feel like I could have done more. Oh, take the realistically productive day. Take the win. Alright, we're doing well on this. We just need to do this final corner now. Are we still tacky on? No, we're dry on the edge. Lovely. You become a bit afraid to touch what you have decoupaged. Because you're like, it's gonna stick to me. Once it's dry, it becomes this ridiculously solid, good material though. So, do not be afraid. At the workshop, do I stay in my dressing gown and PJs and veg for the day? It's a Friday, so I feel like vegetation, and it's a bank holiday. Is it a bank holiday? Yeah, it is. It's a bank holiday. If you've had one, Pale. Sometimes people go into work. But it's a bank holiday, so that's a you day. Bank holiday Friday and Monday, isn't it? I don't see it much because I'm a Saturday worker at my library. So whatever happens, I'm kind of always in. Beautiful. Did the gap on that. Now I want to sand... I want to attempt to sand some of the... I might need a thinner sandpaper, you know. It's peeling. It's peeling. Don't panic, don't panic. Still smush level. Still too wet. It is sanding on the top, but it's not adhering on the bottom. What will your container be for? I'm thinking a sharps container, because it's got this really nice thick plastic to it. And so things like X-Acto knives, things like sharp pens or pencils, or anything that just has a point, I think will go in here. And so we're making it nice and decorative, and we can put it all in there, because I just chuck things in the craft boxes and they all end up down the bottom. I think it would be nice to have a sharps container. I also do felting, and the needles for felting are vicious, so they should be in a sharps container. I hope it was, or I was a no-show at work. Fail. Well, hopefully so. I can decoupage down the rest, I suppose. I'm kind of stuck because I'm in drying time right now. There's a little gap. A tiny little gap. I can put the second layer on the... I can put the decorative layer on here before it fully dries. Because it's only tissue paper and 2 layers will be fine. But I would have preferred to trim off the excess here first. Will it rip off? Will it rip off if I put it on the... Or if I put it on and take it off the whole thing a couple of times? Maybe. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. I may even tuck it under, and then when it comes time to putting everything on, I will check that that's okay. Making an extension for my desk for the containers I bought for my jewelry stuff. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, Fail. Need my scissors, but I'm not using scissors because I would never Twitch. Twitch, don't look at me. And I'm going to take some nice segments from this tissue paper. Get this out of the way. And maybe want to do like a line. It's so thin. choker display because that necklace display currently doesn't do chokers well, doesn't it? I wonder why. I loved the R2-D2 display, that's why I was laughing. Just use R2. He is your glamorous assistant. Okay, let's roughly cut to size. Let's get this covered in glue. Here comes le pattern. Hopefully, it will look very nice. Ooh, some of the black is showing through on the white pieces. That could be before the glue dries, but I'll see. Look how pretty! Oh, black is definitely showing through. We'll see what that looks like when the glue dries. We may have to put on 2 layers. Because it's so fine. Such fine tissue paper. But I want the top to look really... I want to have it as having a lot of continuity. That's going to be the first thing that you see. Lots of glue. Woohoo! Hi friends, hello new. Hi Brian, how you doing? The scissors have a pretty colour, thank you. So, I don't recommend doing this, but these are actually hair cutting scissors, and that's because I cut such fine things when I'm doing art. Like this tissue paper wouldn't cut with a pair of regular scissors. It just won't. But I have cut myself with these scissors several times by accident. They are incredibly sharp, but they are a cool colour, yes. Got a tiny neck, the chokers just drape over. I'm thinking about making one from a traffic cone, paper mache, and some black velvet. This is the stream for that. We are crafting. Wow, well done, Brian. We told you not to run with them. No, my issue is I put too much pressure and I like to hold things with my hand right in front of it and then I just... If I were to ever use a chisel and a hammer, I would not leave whatever studio that I was in with all of my fingers. And I recognize that about myself. I need to put some cuts around the side. These scissors are going a bit dull, not gonna lie. I put them through the wringer. That's just mauling it. You have to poke through on that. Use your pookies. Actually, I can fold it. I don't have to cut it. I can fold it. That still works. I wonder what this is going to look like when it's dry, because it's very dark at the moment. Hopefully the white will come back when it's dried. Good that you know that, at least. I understand myself well enough to know that I can and will hurt myself with power tools. So I must limit myself to paintbrushes. Alright, that's the main pattern pretty much put on the top. I'm going to do a few more layers of PVA over it, but I'll see first whether the white comes back when it's dry, because I would very much like it to. Because at the moment it's a little bit dark for my liking. The company knew all the time when she uses my workshop. If I ever make it into your workshop, you just gotta watch me. Trifecta! Hey, Ryan! First of all, thank you for streaking. I love the view. And second of all, thank you for the 3-stream streak. That is incredible support. And a holy trifecta. Someday I'll get to a 5. You will. I believe in you. That's nearly dry already. We're tacky on that. I wish the foam clay would go quicker. I don't think I put too much on. I think I'm just being impatient. How are we doing? Still not bonded underneath. Still pretty much as it was underneath. We may have to abandon the thought that the foam clay is going to behave itself. Let me see if I can just do something fancy with it. And I stand by that. That is a fact. Fact, not fiction. Thank you, Brian, for using your channel points and returning a book. Get the ADHD mentioned, you will be allowed. I will need to be monitored. Like a child with scissors. Don't think I'm going to get a flatter surface than that. So I will accept it for what it is. I just clicked it to see what it did. It's the old channel intro song. I ended up getting rid of it. It was made for me as a gift, but it is an AI song, and I wanted to be fairly free of AI, and so I did. I got rid of it as the channel opening, but I wanted to keep it as a memory of the channel. I'm a sentimental woman. I was hoping that this foam clay thing was going to work. I think if I'm incredibly delicate with it, it will work. Let's not drip it onto the fancy lid that I just made. I'm putting no pressure on that at all. I just want what's naturally in the divots. That's worked. That's a smooth surface. I could decoupage over that. Okay, this is going to work. Change of plan. The plan I thought that was not going to be the plan is now back to being the plan. Is that even a change of plan? Or is that a reversion of plan? Okay, very gently. I'm going to cover a lot. But very gently. I don't want it to bunch up. That's my worst fear. That it's all going to bunch up and collect itself. I put it on pretty thick in that corner. I'm not even sure it needs to be in that corner. Everyone has a plan till it goes wrong. Exactly. My issue is it's just not adhering as much as I wanted it to, but it is filling in the gaps. So when I put the decoupage paper over it, the adherence won't matter because that will do it for me. But to fill in the gaps, the foam clay, I mean, it's worked, it's just not adhered. You know what I mean? I thought it would be stuck in there and I could quite easily peel this out. Maybe that's the type of plastic it is. It is supposed to bond to plastic, and I've used it on plastic before. But this one is just not... Yeah, that's a bunch. I don't want it to bunch. Don't you bunch on me. It usually bonds once it's dry, though. I can fill in some of the voids with tissue paper, but I don't want there to be those big lines anymore. That was the foam clay's job. Go nice and gently. Nice and slow, nice and gently. It's supposed to resemble something in particular. This is me making a blank. So it's going to be... It's going to just be a container. It's just going to be a container that's used to store sharp things, because it's got that nice hard plastic where I can put my X-Acto knife in it and stuff. But it's this bright yellow container full of these voids and covered in branding. And so I've taken away all of that and I'm covering it in black tissue paper just to make it blank. And then I will be putting decorative tissue paper on top. So this is the decorative one. But as you can see, because of the black background and the fact that it's currently wet, it's gone really dull. And I'm going to wait for that to dry and see if some of that comes back to life. If it doesn't, I'll have to do a couple of layers. Yeah, somebody said it looks a little bit like one of those Scream containers from Monsters, Inc. I didn't know if you were cosplaying a bin. I wouldn't put it past me. Paddington cosplayed a bin once. It's a British institution. With these voids, I put foam clay in them to try and get rid of them. And the foam clay is not working as well as I'd hoped. But it is technically working, so I'm going to keep it on. I'm going to try and preserve what's there. I was like, are they yellow containers with black X's in Fallout 3 or something? It does look kind of industrial. I don't know why they do it with this pattern whatsoever. It's an old Nesquik container. It was recommended that I try to drink some Nesquik when I was feeling really unwell. And it was nice, not gonna lie. Better than the meal replacement drinks, for sure. It's curling up ever so slightly on the edge. Don't curl on me now! Strength, it reinforces the flat panel. Oh, I suppose, yeah. Because this would be flimsy. You clever cookie, you. Are we on another break time? How are we on another break time already? I just finished. Can you not see I'm trying to negotiate with foam clay right now? See if I can cut through it. I should be able to. I think I'm pushing too hard. Foam clay doesn't take a lot to move. Alright, we're on another break and I should take it. There we are. That's odd advice. It's odd advice, but it works. If it works, if it ain't broke. Hopefully this side will dry in the meantime. I'm putting it right by my laptop's fan to blow a little bit of hot air over it. So far, working pretty well. I just wish it would adhere to the plastic a bit more. Let's watch this dry. What break are we on? It should be our little break, right? Yeah, it's the little break. Take a drink. I must remember to drink. It's tequila. What'd you get, thing? Clicked away into another tab. What did I miss? Not that much. I'm really hoping that when this dries, the whiteness, because there's nice subtle white background to a lot of this that's gone, and I want it to come out. I heard my name, don't play me like that. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. I'm doing a late April Fool. Have a little snacky snack. Check my messages, what's going on? Ooh, somebody went to Sainsbury's. I love that I have that level of intimacy with people in my life that someone will tell me if they're going into Sainsbury's. I'm shit at crafting. My wife is amazing. I used to be good. And I really enjoyed it, but I haven't done it in so long. So I said I might get the cards graded. I am not going to do that. Did you just look up the price? I said it looked like a jerry can. No way. $100 for 3 cards and 75 days of waiting. Ooh, spicy. I said it looked a bit like a jerry can. It's got an industrial look to it. I think I will carefully sand what I can of the foam clay off. And then decoupage over it. And see what we get. Debating whether to take it all off. But I think that's going to be more effort than it's worth. Don't do it too early, Newt. Don't do it! $100 for 3 cards and 75 days of waiting is wild. It's gone through its puff-up stage. And sanding this one worked really well. That is a flat surface. End up ruining it by rubbing off the uncured bits, right? That's what I don't want to do. It's cured on the top, just not in the divots. That's at $1.33.333 recurring per day of waiting. That's amazing. I'd make spending about 150 per card, and if I wanted to make sure that Sylveon was fully covered, I would at least scan it myself first and be like, does this have a chance of being PSA 10? Do you have a printer with a scanner? That doesn't harm the card. I've scanned a few of mine. No, but it just allows you to zoom in on a computer screen and you can see the tiny little divots or things that they're going to be looking for that maybe you wouldn't be aware of. Alright, our ding has gone off. We're still on the mushy stage on this stuff, but I did put a lot of glue on it. Oh, I put a lot of glue on it because I want it to have a nice shiny surface. Let's cut away some of the excess foam clay. This is might have to be close to my face though, so you might not see this on stream. Little pieces, little pieces. That might be the way to do it, actually. If I cut away absolutely all the little slivers and then gave it a very light sand. That might be the way to do it. I was going to sand it all. That bit at the end doesn't like me. I was having trouble with that beforehand. Once it's dry, it's easy to cut and easy to sand, but I thought it would adhere. It's just not behaved that way. Not for this type of plastic. Maths. Nope, not what you're gonna do. When I got mine graded, I sent off 6. And I think I made sure that it was worth it. Like, one of the ones that I got graded was the rarest one in the pack. And it came back at a 9.5. I knew it was going to come back pretty high. I was hoping for a 10. And I didn't get the price that I wanted for it. But I knew that that was going to be... It wasn't a gamble, basically. But people who get them, like, graded all the time, I don't know how they do that. I'm just super light curl. It's foil, so it's no surprise there. Right? I hate that foils curl. Is there any way to fix that? Can't see any ding or something like that. That's the thing, though. When I put them through my scanner, I can't see any dings with the naked eye, but the scanner can see them. I got mine graded. How do you draw people? It's so complex, but then again, I've just started trying. I may have an example. I used to be a chronic sketcher. It would be in one of my old sketchbooks. Yeah, that's my experience drawing people. I drew men because I got embarrassed when I drew women. For me, it was to do with muscle groups and how they impact how someone is standing. So if you look at that one down the bottom, if you think about standing up straight, he is standing up straight, but the human body naturally puts the head forwards. I found it difficult too. This is why I quit Magic the Gathering. Too many sweats. Wood fiber takes about 6 hours. Oh my god. Buy meth for cheaper, for real. Mainly silica gel and that thing because the curl from the moisture. How does it cope in places like Japan then, when the moisture's really high? Looking at it for sure. Why would you get embarrassed? No, for real. And then I drew 2 guys standing like that in casual positions to get the arm hanging right. Because the arm hanging depends on how much tissue, soft tissue, is in the armpit. So they're both relaxed, but his arms come out more. Also, I don't do faces. And I don't know why I would get embarrassed drawing women. But so that was all the study I did, and then I immediately gave up. Every day you demonstrate I'm a terrible artist. Would you like to see a goat? I drew that during a college lesson. I started a kingfisher and never finished it. A goat! That was when I was doing, it was supposed to look like a video game character. He's like drawn in, he's supposed to be able to be like pixelated. Lurk, no worries, enjoy your lurk. Thank you for being here, thank you for boosting the numbers. And then I did a fantasy map, which is for the Wolf Project. Did I finish it? Yes, I did. I did a fantasy map for the Wolf Project. That was that notebook then done. I just didn't touch the notebook again. Maybe I'll do some sketching on here. I always enjoyed it, but I never did anything like when I drew those men, I drew those from subjects rather than taking any advice from how to draw subjects. I didn't use real subjects, I looked them up online. I didn't just have a naked man hanging around. I think this is fighting me because it's dry. Yes, it is. I can cut through it, see? Woo! Me take you. Ooh, I've left that void. That is dry though. That's interesting. Could do a crafting stream. It would either be 5 hours of just bending, open and close a bunch of thing rings for Jmail, or just 20 minutes of work, 5 hours drying time in the other bits. I'm definitely coming across the drying time parabola. Perfect subject. For real, that dude on the right. I wanted the dude on the right. He looks, because I was working with muscle groups. I was like, how do muscle groups work when the person isn't just like extremely dehydrated and looking like a bodybuilder? And so I worked from muscle groups. So are you saying that you are buff? I bet you are. Saying I'm pudgy. God damn it, Pale. You could have lied. You could have said you look like Optimus Prime. And hell yeah to Pudge. Pudge is comfy. The fact that I'm doing this and my tongue is hanging out of my mouth in concentration, it really shouldn't take that much. These bits are dry, but they're ever so thin. I love the Mario remixes, because I love the Mario music, but Nintendo would never let you use it. Can't rate Jinx now, finished early? Oh no! Was everything alright? Was Jinx okay? Just tired? He was sleepy. Fair enough. It's been a long week for him. How are we doing for time? I have an hour to finish this. Well, I mean, I don't have to finish it today, but I wanted to. I chose this project because I thought I could get it done in the time. Promised a lot to post pics of what he was making in Discord. Hell yeah. And what are we doing? What was the swing? I didn't see the swing. What was the swing? Tell me, Twitch. Oh, we sippy sip. Thank you very much, Bug. My kidneys, thank you. Keep cutting too far into those. I need to do this. Isn't that Koopa Troopa? Or just a Koopa? At what point does a Koopa become a Trooper? What do either of them have to do with Goombas? Beautiful. Okay, I've taken off a lot of excess, which is lovely. Let's see how it reacts to sandpaper now. Sippy sip. You gotta do the sippy sip. I must do the sippy sip. I must never forget to drink. The answer is it's reacting fairly to sandpaper. It's still grouping a bit, but it's mostly coming off the areas that I want it to come off. Let's do it very light. No pressure. Let's remember to sand around them as well. It's not all about the foam clay. I've got to get the rest of this stuff prepped. That's nice and flat too. These two sides have reacted very well to sanding. Maybe that's because there's less of it? Or it's less likely to group together because it's long? I don't know why that would be. But it is. Probably quite thick in the middle. Getting some sanding on the yellow, which is what I wanted as well. That means it's all lying flat. Just nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Hey folks, hey Jinx, I heard you finished early. How you doing? You tired? You tidy boy? Big EP. Oh, Jing. Big EP. Well, I hope you get some good rest. What are you up to this weekend? I'm working tomorrow, which sucks. I'm not looking forward to my Easter weekend, and I'll tell you for why. Working Saturday, and then on that Saturday evening, after I get off work, I will be immediately hit, well, the whole of the UK will be hit by Storm Dave. I will then, on Easter Sunday, promptly start my period. So, it's not going to be a great Easter weekend for me. I think I know that. But you know what? I'm going to survive, and it's a great excuse to eat a lot of chocolate, so. Lo-fi version of ASND Kingdom? Hell yeah, Marina. Hell yeah. This is feeling pretty flat now. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to pick up on camera, but it's looking pretty flat. We're getting there. Feeling a little braver with the sandpaper now. To sand the foam clay as if it's part of the box. Try putting a lot of it on without much pressure. Oh no, it's gonna... If I were to glue that down... I do have super glue, don't I? Yes, I do. Might glue that down because I feel like I flicked that up way before it was dry. Hopefully that doesn't cause some sort of awful chemical reaction between foam clay, plastic, and super glue. We'll find out. If anything catches fire, we'll find out. Gonna go to bed dressed, and I'm gonna go get dressed and move to the workshop. I'm getting FOMO on the crafting. Hell yeah! Sand Kingdom, I type fast and my keyboard is slow. No worries! Of Sand Kingdom, got it. Fingers crossed. Candy have got 2 family get-together Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be a lot of people both days. I've been up since 8 to contribute. Finished cooking at 2-ish this afternoon. Oh my god. Jinx! My god, that is a lot of work. You've had a pretty busy week too, if I recall. Definitely having more trouble with those bits down the bottom than the bits on the side. The bits on the side you can just really sand. Okay, I think we're nearly ready to go on this. I need to get the plastic though. Now I can't sand anything here and up because that's going to be where the lid attaches. I do want to keep the lid functional. Got some glue from the old label. Let's get rid of that. My super glue. What are you making anyway? It's just a pot. It's just going to be a storage pot. I'm going to use it as my sharps pot, so to put all my sharp things in that I use for crafting, because it's that really nice hard plastic. But I'm making it a bit decorative first, and I'm doing that through making it flat, hence the foam clay, but then putting decoupage paper all over it, which hopefully means the entire surface will look like this paper, so it will look very pretty. But at the moment, I'm still in the process of getting it sanded and ready to put the paper on. Told Bessie about the cookies, and I was commanded to make her a batch, as you should be. Has there been any update in the group chat about meeting up? As long as it's flat, I'm happy. Alright, I think I'm ready to go in with the base layer on this side. I think that there's not too much proudness on the foam clay, that it's going to mean that that's okay. It certainly won't hold the same pattern. Whether it holds a different pattern or not, we'll see. Uncertain. I know Bessie has a couple of days free. I think this month, though I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's the spring. It's when everyone starts going out again, isn't it? Lots of stuff happens very quickly. There's a lump on this side that needs to come off. It's right in the middle. Maybe I could cut it. Cut it in super glue again. There we are. That'll do it. Okay, let's get rid of all the debris. And we're ready to put the black layer on this side. Hopefully things will lay fairly flat. May need to do a couple of layers. 26th April, 3rd of May. Brilliant. We'll confirm nearer the time. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. You can see the divots, but it's much less severe with the foam clay filling up the majority of it, which is brillante. It's working! No Anakin in his pod. It's working! Do big chunks. Do, do, do. Don't know what music this is, but I could do it or hum it off by heart. That's what Nintendo does. Just works its way into your neurons. I might paint that little ribbon something. I might paint it a shiny colour. That could look cute. Does anyone stream Nintendo games, or is that like asking for trouble because Nintendo is so OTT about their copyright? I don't even think you can see the divots. We'll see when it's dry, because at the moment it's very reflective. Good luck with your craft tonight. I'm going to go hibernate by cocooning myself in my gaming chair and put my mind in neutral. Fair enough. Have a good one, everyone. You're amazing people. Oh, shucks, Jinx. Well, thank you so much. And yes, you have a good rest. You have a good mindless mode and then rest. So far, the top has not perked up. It's not dry yet, though. I hold out hope. I'm holding out for a hero. This is gonna have to stay on my hand now because I'm doing the side. I've just got my hand in it. I need more tissue paper though. I'm gonna have to use my elbow. This is now a full body workout. like this weird OC that was taken by some sort of company and made into a Nesquik thing. My hands have been replaced with Nesquik things. I wonder how the tissue paper would react to sanding. You could use it in place of foam clay if it reacted well. Doubt it would react well though. I think the heat, if anything, would be an irritant. Oh, I love Stardew Valley and I miss it. Now is not the time for rest mode. I am elbow deep in this craft, quite literally. I'm glad I got this done though, because then we get the 15 minutes drying time on the break. Okay, beautiful. Extra glue. Always extra glue. So you can still see the X through it, but it's much, much reduced. I think in a couple of layers that will be gone. The bottom is pretty much dry, but I'll put it on a thing anyway. A little stand. So, that's tacky now. I'm seeing that bit. You see that bit? That bit's coming back to life. Maybe I need to leave it a bit longer. I think I'll have to leave it a bit longer. It's supposed to be in break mode and I'm just into it. Just too into it. I need it to be fairly exact, otherwise the lid is not going to work anymore. If I were to do that. What do you think of that? Ooh, that's reacting well. Not with too much paper on it, though. Look at that. It just cut that piece of black paper off. Sandpaper for the win! Means the lid is still going to fit, which is, yes, is what I want. That side is still a little bit wet. Lid still work? Yes, it does. Wunderbar. Do you see how, do you see the vision? The vision is coming together. That is going to be the color of the box. That is going to be the edge of it. I may add a bit of a shine to try and make it look slightly metallic. I do have some metallic paints, which maybe I could put some sort of metallic shine into the PVA on the final layer and make it look a little bit metallic. That could look quite cool. But for now, it's break time. I must adhere to my break times. We have a 15-minute break. I think I'll do one more sprint. I know it's not a writing sprint, but I'll do one more crafting sprint and then I'll call it a day on this. And I think what I will do is I will do the most intensive part of getting all of the black down onto the body of it. So I may not complete this today, which is a shame because I picked out this project thinking I could do it today. I've been slowed down by drying time though, so maybe it's one of those cases where I should have put the foam clay a couple of days before or something. But we're gonna learn as we go for these streams, aren't we? It's brand new. I'm still back there. Oh, the sun has gone down. The sun has gone down. It is dark outside. Isn't hard. You've got a library card. It is not hard when you've got a library card. I need to take away that alert. The little swing noise. There is a way to take it away. I've just still not done it. But thank you, Bug. Having fun is not hard when you've got a library card. Let's watch this dry. I think it could possibly... This part is giving me hope that the white's going to come back. Just that bit. I think I'll make some Game Chop playlists. So I can still use Game Chop, but the differences between the Minecraft and the crafting are different. Are noticeable. Help, I'm being attacked by mosquitoes! No! Is that normal for that time of year for you? Do you tend to get mosquitoed? Or do mosquitoes like you particularly well? I don't know whether it's the light that's shining on it. Let me turn the light up. I think the light could come back. If not, then I think adding the metallic sheen to make it look like a patterned metal could look really nice. Oh god, Bug. Have you ever had a mosquito-transmitted disease? I have a friend who has had malaria a couple of times. I want to say she's had it 6 times. It's pretty much hell every time. I'm gonna do my little daily check of Artemis. Well, hourly check at this point. It's wild that they're like halfway there. Will they slow once they approach the moon? That's really cool. I was a weak baby, so I was vaccinated pretty quick. Fair enough. Fair enough. The way my friend describes it is just like the most awful fever. Burns really high, really hot, exhausts you for a couple of days. think this pattern could come back from the dead. I mean, what's it like when I put the dry two together? It's not see-through at all. It'll get to a point and then speed up again. They're about to do their corrective bursts, but my understanding was that was more to do with making sure they stayed on track and less to do with speed. Because they've slingshotted around the Earth and then they will slingshot around the moon to come back. So if they approach the moon too fast, they're not going to get pulled in to the gravitational pull of the moon. They're just going to skip past it. I want to take a picture of this and send it to someone. It must feel like a blur to them because it's been 1 day and 20 hours. That's it'd be 40 hours. That must feel like nothing. I bet they've not slept a wink. AO3 is finally out of beta after 17 years. Is that true or is that an April Fool? Don't do this to me. No, is it true? No. No, that's been announced on April Fool's Day. I don't trust that at all. No, never mind, they announced it on the 2nd. We're exiting open beta. We've come a long way when we announced and launched AO3 open beta in 2009. Can you believe it? That's insane. I was here for beta. They gave you a sticker. I was here for beta. I'm gonna make that my profile picture on everything. Everything that does not need to know that I go on AO3 for my daily fix of smut. Or I will be changing my profile picture to that. I don't think it's wet anymore. It's cold though. I'd like that to be fully dry for me to decide whether to put on another layer or not. I don't think it's there yet. So my next step will be sanding this and then putting the black... Oh, can't put my hand in it. Putting the black on everywhere else. Then once that's dry, I'll know where I need to put different layers of things. I want it to be as plain as possible, but if you put too many layers on, it will take forever to dry. I don't want it to take forever to dry. Don't mind a bit of time. I do have a hairdryer. Sometimes I employ the hairdryer. Maybe I could hair dry on the cold setting. Does the mic pick this up? Did the mic pick it up? Oh yeah, it picks it up. Is that on like talking frequency then? I'll have to mute my mic for that. Alright, we're gonna go back into crafty mode. Good luck if anyone's following the Pomo timer, but I'm gonna mute my mic real quick and do some hair drying. Okay, that is, I think, however much of the white that is going to come back. So I will need to have a think about whether I want to add a metallic shine, or whether I need to put several more layers of the, of that tissue paper on. We'll see. It's a little bit brighter than I thought it was going to be. So, let's get the rest of this turned into a blank. I think it'd be nice if I have overlapping projects as well. Like, let's say I'm making something next stream and I've got the drying time. Then I can go back to this project and do some decoupage on this project. Maybe that's how crafting streams are going to look. There's going to be a little bit of an overlap. Oh, it sounds so nice. Foam clay was the right choice, but it's given me a little bit more trouble than I thought it would. Ultimately the right choice, though. I may need to glue that one back down. Oh no, I lost the edge of that completely. Glue, super glue, come to my rescue. Something about only wanting a smidge of super glue, and then the super glue thing's like, so you want this much? It's like, no. I've never wanted this much. I would dare say that any human on Earth would never want that much super glue. Definitely a bit proud. There we go. That one may just need gluing itself. It's fighting me at every corner, this one. Oh no. Me learning not to use super glue with bare hands right now. Beautiful. I think the longer and thinner the line, the less it fights you with this. Not that I'll ever need this information again, because I will likely never turn another Nesquik thing into a craft project again. But I'm learning. I'm learning on the job. Don't stick to the thing, stick to the other thing. Super glue comply. The middle's behaved very well. The middle has behaved extremely well. Might call it a day on the sanding there. A little uneven on this side, or a little more uneven than on the other. This top bit is not doing well. It's not coping well. It just does not want to go. I think going straight in with the paper is the best choice here. What game is this from? I recognize it, but I don't know where from. It's also giving a little bit period drama. I've gone off the Game Chops playlist and gone straight into Pride and Prejudice. Oh, I watched the other Bennett sister on iPlayer recently. It's so good. Highly recommend. If any of you are fans of period dramas. Ooh. Oh yes. Very, very good. I'm reaching a flow state where I'm just not talking. There was some debris on the bottom. Boo! What I get for sanding and sticking on the same surface. Speaking of period dramas, I have some tea from work. Oh, tell me. I love tea from other people's works. Alright, we've gone all the way around, but we've not gone down here. I'm gonna need some long, thin strips for that. It's a bit too thin. That was a bit too thin. So I want to go all the way up to... I'll go all the way up to here. Try not to impact the lid. Might need to cut some flat pieces for this. Or some straight pieces, not flat pieces. Let's give her a go. Straight of an edge I'm gonna get with my cutting skills. My co-worker had a boyfriend break up with her at work, argument style, and one of the lines he used was, "I'm not a fan of period drama right now, and you right now you are a period drama and I'm not dealing with it anymore." Vibe though. Did she deserve it? Do you think she deserved it? On the one hand, nobody deserves to get dumped at work, but on the other hand, did she deserve it? Beautiful. Then I think I might take the dry bits and Or the tacky bits, I should say. And then put some big pieces of black on them, because I have the drying type now. Now that I know I'm not going to complete this project today. Normally, with her, I would have said yes, but he was cheating on her, so he should have received a kick in the nuts. Valid. He should have absolutely received a kick in the nuts. You are valid for that. I hate doing interiors in Minecraft. I hate doing exteriors in Minecraft. Interiors are the fun bit. We should start a building company. Mainly just bigger rooms. The small ones I like, the big ones I hate, because you've got room to fill. I like big rooms, but then giving them small functions. And you can get really decorative with it. Like I want to go over it with like a smoother of some kind. Some disposable chopsticks, which I thought would work well for that. But I think that decoupage is meant to look a little wrinkly, and I think that's okay. I think maybe even attempting to sand it would be fun. For Minecraft today, I can bring you to the new builds. I got 2 that need insides. I'll see how much time I have today, but I may hop on a bit later, indeed. Because I like to run things AFK at night. Alright, the hairdryer's coming out. Thank you, Marina. I appreciate that. Most of that is dry, a little bit wet here. I wonder how it would respond to sanding when it was totally dry. Naturally, if it's not dry when you sand it, it's gonna just bunch up, right? That might be an interesting experiment for another day. But we have our blank. We have made our blank. How long have we got left of stream? 3 minutes, oh my god. But we have our blank, which I am incredibly proud of. Let's take 3 minutes to do 2 things. To pat ourselves on the back. Find us, well, 3 things. Pat ourselves on the back. Find a safe place for this. And to clear up. Clearing up is important. Would this be my writing desk? Alright, beautiful. We'll find a nice place for this to dry. Let's leave it undisturbed over there for now. The 2 used sandpaper. I probably won't use them for anything else just because they've got plastic on them now. Let's put those back in the craft box. Let's put this in the jar. Where is my decoupage jar? Here is my decoupage jar. I'll need to put this in some water. Seeing it's only 1 paintbrush, I'll put it in my little... I sometimes use this for watercolour. It's actually a spice jar from IKEA. For some reason it looks like it has salt in it right now. Is it grown crystals? Have I grown crystals by accident? Perfect little thing for cleaning a brush. Look at that. Perfecto. Clean the jar a bit because it would not open. This is such old goop. Ew. 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 Oh, that might have been what stopped it from opening. There's a big chunk of it. I'll get it. You. I think I'll sort out my craft boxes after this as well. I'll leave my desk empty so that I can go through the stuff. I'll do an inventory. Because I think it would be much more useful for me with my object permanence to look through a box, list what's in it, and then put the list on top of the box so that I know what's in it rather than looking through it every time. That's how I think I've been losing things. I think I'll empty them out completely, and then every time I put something in, I'll note it down. Beautiful. I mean, it's still absolutely covered in glue, but beautiful. Better than it was. Is this satisfying? Is this ASMR? Did anyone else used to paint glue? I feel like everyone did. Everyone used to paint their glue on their hands and then peel it off for that satisfying peel sensation. I'm definitely one of those kids. Budding. There we are. We are done for today. Those was our little sprint. So now we know that crafting streams for 3 hours take about 5 sprints. I think I will run the Pomo timer just in case anyone's working alongside. And I really found that it made me take breaks, which I really, really find useful. So I think having the Pomo timer on and using my writing club setup is ideal. And I have discovered this. So I am happy about it. We didn't manage to get the project done though, so I'm learning about realistic time frames and drying times and using the hairdryer. So thank you for sticking with me for that. Like, note to self, 3-hour crafting stream takes 3 hours. Yeah, honestly, that's what most of my notes to self look like, though. And that's okay. Alright, there we are. This can go. Those will go back when I fully put away. But I'm gonna get out all of the stuff that's in that toy box and then sort through it again. So, what we did today. We've got our blank done. Voids filled in, still visible, but much less visible than they would have been. And we're getting a bunch of blank tissue paper on to help both fill in those voids and turn it into something that's going to be very easy to fill in. Like this. It's going to look like that all around. And then this was proof of concept, but I may need to do another couple of layers. I still need to decide on it. But this will be the end look of it, the end pattern of it. And I don't know. I'll see how that goes. And I'll see whether this does somehow pop out with the white. I don't think it will. But we'll see. But yes, everything still works together, still fits on. That is our blank. Ready to turn into a nice little storage container. Out of trash, out of rubbish, out of scrap. I'd be very happy with that. So, thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm always in the background. Yeah, you are. Alright. We are going to wrap up. Shall we see who's on? Shall we raid out? I was going to raid Jinx, but Jinx is gone. There's a lot of people on. How's Bam doing? Okay, Bam is on his 3rd Pomo out of 5. So we're going to go and raid Bam. Bam is a lovely writer, streamer. He has got his timer running and he's about, well, I can tell you, he is about halfway through his stream. So we will raid out to Bam, go say hi to Bam. Bam is lovely. Introduced to me by Lady Magora. Wonderful, wonderful writer, wonderful editor, wonderful person. So we'll go say hi to them. There we are. Should be ready. Right. I have some thank yous. Thank you for chatting, for lurking, for being here, for absolutely everything in between. Thank you all for being so lovely. Thank you for bearing with while I figure out how to do this crafting stuff. Figure out what my microphone picks up, what it doesn't. That sort of stuff will come with time. So thank you for doing that. And also thank you for being here for this, because this is something that I've always wanted to do but never had the confidence to do. And now I feel confident in myself as a streamer and the community that I have to just be like, actually, I'm gonna do what I want to do right now. And that's been really fun. And I've reconnected with some arts and crafts, but not doing such fine work that put too much pressure on me, you know? I think this was an excellent place to start. So thank you for joining me on that. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for being here, Marina. I hope to see you later. I will be popping downstairs to say hi to some of my family members that have just come back into the house, and then getting some food, and then going on Minecraft. So proud of you, Nate. Thank you, babe. Thank you for being so lovely. But yes, we're gonna go and raid Bram, and I've got 20 seconds, and it's been lovely. So thank you for joining me, and see you for the next one next Friday. This will be all the way through the next 3 months, crafting streams on a Friday, and then there will be drawing streams on a Friday. But they're sort of going to blend into each other and be part of each other, so. Oh, we're going. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.